Hi guys, Dr. Sagar Abhichandani here. Today we talk about the $1 million question. How to start your business, how to start your venture, how to start your journey as an entrepreneur. No matter what your idea and the current situation is, this session will help you move beyond your idea stage and take baby steps towards starting your own business. You can follow and subscribe to the channel and stay updated about other such videos coming up. For the simplicity of understanding, the goals will be split into 10 weeks. Each week, you have to work on making progress and taking one step closer to owning your business. What was once an idea will soon be a reality. For optimum results, it is expected that you complete a certain set of tasks every week. Based on your idea and the scale of business you intend, you might need longer to complete the quota for the week. In such cases, extend the timeline for another week or so. Do not rush through for the sake of completing it. So, excited? Shall we begin? Week 1. Know your why and understand the reality of entrepreneurship. The biggest myth floating around is that people who quit their jobs and start with their businesses make tons of money. You would have heard such rag to riches stories where a normal person gave up his regular job to pursue his passion to make millions of dollars. While entrepreneurship is a thrilling experience, most people are unaware of the hardship that goes behind building a successful business. The grass always seems greener on the other side. So, the first week you have to do two things. Number one, be clear about your goals. Number two, understand the reality of entrepreneurship. Be clear about your goals. You must know why you want to start your business. While making money is one obvious reason, you need to have a stronger reason than just the bucks. Understand the reality of entrepreneurship. Do not assume that your journey of entrepreneurship will be full of unicorns and rainbows. Along with your triumphs, you will go through tough moments that will challenge you at different levels. Signing up for entrepreneurship without knowing the difficulties is like jumping into the ocean without knowing how to swim. Knowing the challenges well in advance saves you the trouble of stress and helps you make better decisions. Week 2. Validate your idea and find if people will pay for your idea. One of the biggest mistakes new entrepreneurs make is building a product which no one wants to buy. If you have an idea, you tend to get blinded by the potential of it. You dream of people all over the world using your product, falling for your services, and singing praises about your business. Several entrepreneurs start with similar dreams only to fail. As much as you love your idea, you must try to validate its potential before you spend all your time, money, and energy on it. Many entrepreneurs are worried that someone will steal their idea if they try to get feedback on it. Well, ideas are a dime of dozen. No matter how good your idea is, it remains an idea without great execution. So stop worrying people will build your product secretly behind your back faster than you do. The truth is exactly the opposite. You will have trouble convincing another person to trust the potential of your idea and join you as a partner. How do you validate your idea? Unfortunately, validating your idea can turn tricky depending on what you are trying. Some can be easily tested while others require a leap of faith. But here is a general direction to check for signs on how your business would do. Firstly, is your idea solving a problem? If yes, you're off to a good start. If no, it doesn't necessarily mean your idea is bad. You might have to consider how your business makes money. For example, Instagram does not solve any problem directly but still runs a very successful business, right? Build a MVP, minimum viable product. Whenever possible, try to build your business on a small scale before you dive all in. For example, if you're building a software product, launch with a small set of features to check how the market reacts. If you want to start a fitness gym, try a free beach workout to find out what the feedback is. But not always can you build a MVP. For example, if you intend to start a restaurant, you cannot start with 10% of the restaurant. You have to think of other ideas like starting in a smaller outlet or fewer cuisines. Ask yourself, are people paying for a business similar to yours? Irrespective of your passion for the idea, you need people paying you to be successful. In some cases, like a restaurant, the answer is obvious. If you serve good food, people will pay for it. If you're starting a clinic and possess good skills, great knowledge, people will seek your services. But in some cases, the answer may not be easy to figure out. For example, if you intend to build a tool that helps in making Instagram photos more likable, you do not know for certain if people will pay for it. Maybe people would, maybe people wouldn't. Here are a few questions to help you gain some clarity. Why you would pay? As surprising as it may seem, so many entrepreneurs build products which they themselves would never spend money to use. Would your friends pay for it? Would the people who need the product be willing to pay money and use it? If you believe enough people will buy the product to make your business successful, go for it. Do your market research. The smartest way to validate your product is to do a real study. You can create polls on social media. Before you even start building your business, ask 10 to 50 potential customers if they would use your product or your services. If yes, try to find out how much they are willing to pay for it. Do not talk to known people like friends and family because they might lie to just make you feel better. Please note, just because people tell you they will buy the product does not mean they will pay for it. Your actual confirmation comes only when a customer pays for it. But the feedback still helps you validate your idea, because if people tell you they won't use it or pay for it, you know what people think about your potential idea to get a business done. Week 3. Identify the skills you need to learn and build a business model canvas. To run a software business, you must be willing to learn more than just the programming skills. To run a restaurant, you need more than just the cooking skills. To start a fitness gym, you need more than just the working out skills. To start a clinic, you need more than just your clinical skills. So in week 3, you have to complete 2 activities. Identify the skills you lack and create a business model canvas. Identify the skills you lack. During this week, you must identify the top 5 skills you lack to run a business. If you have a partner, factor in the skills that she brings to the table. Among the skills that both of you miss, identify who among you will pick which skill. For example, let's say you want to start a restaurant where you handle the cooking and your partner handles the operations. If both you lack the knowledge of social media, one of you has to take the initiative to learn the nuances of it. If you have the budget to outsource such work, feel free to skip such learning skills. Once you identify the skills you have to learn, make a plan on how you will acquire those skills. Will you take lessons, read books, sign up for the courses, find a mentor, or learn by try and error? Any plan works as long as you work. Create a business model canvas. Don't be an entrepreneur who goes by assumptions or gut feeling. A level-headed businessman is who has a clear picture of the benefits of his business along with the ways to reach people. Week 4. Start tracking your progress with deadlines. When you work on goals with indefinite timelines, the progress moves at a snail's pace. Setting deadlines helps in building accountability and keeping things on track. When you work towards a goal without keeping a timeline in mind, you consume more time than what is necessary. This week, You have to set deadlines for setting up your business. If you're worried about the lack of clarity of task, worry not. Just begin this week and you can correct the timelines with time. Create sections. Divide your task into sections. Feel free to use any breakdown you like. One recommended segregation is to divide the task by the line of work: research, setup, operations, marketing, social media ideas, pricing, feedbacks. Set a deadline for each task. Add the task you believe you need to work on. For example, you might have identified a few skills to learn about in the exercise, say, the previous week. Add those as a task here along with an approximate time needed to complete the task. In the upcoming week, you have an exercise of talking to business owners in your niche. Such task must be added on the tool too, along with a deadline. If you do not have a clear deadline to add, put an approximate deadline. If you leave the field empty, the task will remain pending for eternity. You don't want that. Check your tasks once a day. Once in a day, please check what tasks are pending and where should you spend your energy to finish them. Very, very important. Week 5. Talk to 5 or more top entrepreneurs in a similar business. As a new entrepreneur, you will have your ideas of making your business successful. Since you trust your idea, you will tend to look at the business only from your lens. You will accept information which matches your belief and reject any facts which point out the flaws in your idea. This flaw of the mind is called the confirmation bias. Do not overestimate your intelligence and ideas. You will learn a lot by talking to few successful people in your niche who have attempted a similar business before and are super successful. If you ask another entrepreneur in the same industry for input, most people will be glad to answer your questions. You have to make sure you are not a competitor and you must also ask the right questions. Talk to other entrepreneurs who have done it before. For example, if you're starting a restaurant, you can talk to a restaurant owner in a different area. Though you are in the same business, if you target some area some miles away, businessmen won't consider you as a competition. On the other hand, if you are building a software product, other businessmen will consider you as a competition even if you are in a different city. You will have to use your best judgment to decide which entrepreneurs you can talk to. It is a misconception that other entrepreneurs will not provide the details. In fact, most businessmen will be happy to share their learning with you. This week, you have to talk to at least 5 businessmen in the same business. Draft a questionnaire. Draft a set of questions to ask them. Some good ideas would be: initial investment required, monthly operational cost, mistakes to avoid, handling manpower, supplies, sales, etc. Time required to reach a break even. What should be the profit margins? Ideas to cut down the expenses. One good question to ask: if you started the same business from scratch, what are the right things you would do and what mistakes will you avoid? Try asking this. Things to remember. Do not ask questions which are none of your business. Like, how much do you make in a month? Some entrepreneurs are not comfortable sharing these numbers, at least not until they know you well. Also, knowing how much he makes has nothing to do with your business. Instead, you can ask her input on how much you need to invest, how much is a good profit for you in a month, and so on. When you hear the feedback from these successful entrepreneurs, you will be under the strong influence of confirmation bias. You might turn down useful advice thinking it contradicts with what you have in your mind. Try to evaluate the feedback with an open mind. You do not have to follow the advice given by the entrepreneurs. The point of the exercise is to gain as much knowledge as possible and use your best judgment to decide what to follow, what not to follow. Week 6. Prepare the budget you need to start your venture. Most budding entrepreneurs postpone budget planning until the very last minute. When the time has come to start spending money to set up the business, new entrepreneurs wake up and create a business and a budget in about 30 minutes. Most new entrepreneurs are talented and sound in the core area of their business. Though they have sound expertise in their domain, most new entrepreneurs have one thing in common: they hate accounts and numbers. As a result, the new entrepreneur procrastinates the budgeting part as much as possible. My suggestion: prepare a simple initial investment approximation. You do not need to turn into an accountant with a calculator to prepare a budget sheet. Only list down whatever you need: what is the cost, what is the total, how to make a calculation of your initial investment. Some tips on preparing your initial expense sheet. Add one item per row. Add the cost for every item, no matter how small. If you do not know the cost of an item, either add an approximate value based on your gut feeling or try to get an idea by looking for it online. Have a column for each item where you mention whether it is a want or a need. If your business will suffer without it, make it as a need. If the item is more or less nice to have or a luxury, mark it as a want. This column will help you reduce the cost unnecessarily. Account for buffer cash. No matter how accurately you estimate your initial cost, you face the risk of increased expenses due to unforeseen circumstances. Account for 10 to 20% of your cost as a safety margin. That will always come to your rescue. Things to remember: do not worry about the cost piling up. A common mistake is to note down a value lesser than the real expense just to make yourself feel relieved. Do not make that mistake. Add the values as it is and total it. If you find the total humongous, do not sweat it out. You can always find ways to minimize the value later. Week 7. Prepare the budget for your monthly expenses. In the previous week 6, you created a budget required to lift your business off the ground. This week, in week 7, you estimate the expense you incur to keep the business running every month. The activity should be broken in two parts: the monthly expense you incur, the monthly revenue you can expect. Now, the monthly expense calculation, let me give you some tips. Add one item per row. Add the cost for every item, no matter how small. If you do not know the cost, add the approximate value or look for it online. Account the cost of supplies if applicable. Say, for example, it's a restaurant. It incurs a supply cost percentage for the food it sells. A software product has a fixed monthly expenses for the technology. The spreadsheet example uses a 38% raw material cost or a 62% profit. Estimate your break-even period. Now that you know your approximate monthly profits and the total money you have invested, calculate the time required to earn your investment back. The point where you have made your initial amount back in profits is called the break-even point. Remember, the budget should help you make a realistic decision if your business model is worth pursuing or not. There is no good benchmark for the break-even point. Someone running a small restaurant might expect a return within 6 months, while a software product might need 6 years. Do not panic if the break-even point is too far away. But remember, the further away your break point is, the more money you will need to keep the business running. The figure should give you an idea if you have enough cash in hand to handle the monthly burn. Week 8. Consider emergencies and possible failure or unforeseen circumstances. As a new entrepreneur, you dream about all the things going right. At the same time, do not forget to consider what should you do if things do not turn out the way you expected. In most businesses, this is what usually happens. Though the activity seems pessimistic, as an entrepreneur, you have better chances of success if you are better prepared for things going slower than you expected. In any business, one thing or another will go wrong. If you spend enough time thinking of such cases, the difficulty will only seem like a pin. So what questions do we need to prepare for? What if the initial setup takes longer than expected? Do you have buffer cash to sustain? What if you face a delay in the initial revenue to come? Can you handle the monthly expenses in the meantime? What if the revenue is lesser and slower than expected? Are you ready to face a delayed break even? What if your most important employee leaves you? Can somebody else fill in the shoes, or can you find a replacement to keep the business running? What if you face an emergency? Do you have the necessary insurance? Think long and hard for such bottlenecks in your business. These cases seem rare at the outset, but ignoring them can lead to a demise of your business. It's better safe to be sorry. Week 9. Revisit deadlines and come up with a 12-week plan. By now, you have a much better understanding of the business you are stepping into. Collect and consolidate all the information that you have gathered so far based on the budget you created, the entrepreneurs you spoke to, the potential users you spoke to. You are now in a position to make far better estimates than you initially began. How do you revisit your deadlines? Step 1. List down the goals you must achieve by the end of 12 weeks. Step 2. Based on the goal, add milestones through the 12 weeks. Step 3. Define the task you need to complete each week. And step 4, add all the tasks and deadlines or any other tool where you feel you will remember them. At the end of each week, rate yourself 1 out of 10 on how you did that week. If you do a great job, well done. If not, buck up. Things to remember. Balance your deadlines such that they are neither too aggressive nor too easy. Your deadlines must challenge you enough to stretch and grow without tearing you apart. Week 10. Understand leadership and avoid the most common mistakes. As an employee, most people curse their manager and believe they can do a better job. However, things are easier said than done. As a business owner, you are the leader for your people. Almost every new entrepreneur commits blatant mistakes with leadership, which makes their employees resent them. When you cannot learn the art of leadership in a week, you can make an attempt to avoid the most common mistakes. What should we remember? The classic mistake a new entrepreneur makes is assuming people will respect the person in power. In some way, yes, that assumption is true. However, if people obey your commands because you are the person in authority, you will end up like the manager you yourself will curse. My dear friends, remember this. Most people give leadership the last priority. But trust me, this is the difference between making and breaking your business. As an end note, this is where we say goodbye. You are on your own now. You have a plan and an idea of what to expect. The world is your playground. Go, have fun. All the best. Dr. Sagar Abhichandani signing off. See you on the other side. Take care.